welcome to True Ball Banter. EP Faves.
Gibbs.
Tashi.
Hey, so purpose of this is our pilot test show. So we decided to do a podcast since the Mama restaurants have already kicked us out with all our discussions.
Too many fights.
So yeah, basically we all are hardcore United and Liverpool fans. We all never know. So we are here just to talk about a bit about ourselves and our journey as a fan and what it is moving forward. So over to you, Gabs.
Alright, so I've been a United supporter since 20 plus years ago. 2002 onwards, ever since I watched the World Cup in 2002, which was in Korea, Japan. And of course, I liked David Beckham and I decided to support England during the World Cup. And then I moved to which club Beckham was playing.
What attracted you to David Beckham?
Well, I liked his...
There were so many clubs, there were so many countries there. Was it just because he was good looking?
Part of it, yes, because he was good looking. Second, because I like the way he took free kicks and the way he was the captain for England and the way he led the team.
He was the captain.
He was the captain. He was captain all the way until Ericsson left England. He was the captain. So yes, he was quite a. I like the way he brought himself in public and everything. It's quite a celebrity at the time.
So you wanted to be like him?
No, I don't want to be like him.
You like his popularity or do you like the way?
Everything is everything. In a package, like give in a package.
See why you like Ronaldo as well.
It's
not just a footballer.
It's the looks.
Yeah, I mean, it's because of Beckham. And then I moved. I found out Beckham was playing for United. Then I started to support United because of Beckham. I know it sounded not much like a real United fan, but I think quite a number of people that I know also actually supported Manchester because of Beckham. So yeah.
Mostly girls.
Yeah, actually mostly girls. I know.
It's kind of surprising coming from you.
Yeah, he's strange actually. But yeah, I liked United because of Beckham. And after I liked United because of Beckham, I fell in love with the whole team. I started to watch them play and of course it was just my luck that the team that I supported happened to be a title winning team. I did not know about that until I watched and I realized, oh, they are first in the league, they were second, they were going for the title.
Prior to the World Cup, did you
yes, at that time I didn't know, but I knew that Arsenal won the league just before the World Cup. Arsenal were so United were actually, they finished third before the World Cup. And then
second, Liverpool.
Second is Liverpool, yes. That is Liverpool's so-called treble.
2002, no, that's
No, that was not.
2001 was their treble.
2002, right? That season, right?
No.
2001. Cup treble.
Oh, okay. You know better lah. You know better.
Don't fact check me, bro.
Thanks for checking. Okay, so then, Liverpool finished second. Of course, at the time, I didn't know what Liverpool was, our rivalries and all. So, going forward then, Beckham, unfortunately, that season which I started supporting United was Beckham's last season. It turned out to be that way, especially after the head riot incident where the boots hit his face after he lost to Arsenal in the FA Cup. Then we moved on. Beckham left.
You mean because of the Fergie head riot? Right?
Yes, the head riot where he kicked the boots and he cut his eyebrows and it became an issue.
So were you supporting Fergie or were you supporting Beckham?
Actually, I wasn't supporting anyone because it was
Beckham.
It's Beckham, right?
No, I wouldn't say that because
Fergie,
as the manager, he has the right to.
Ferguson did the right thing because Beckham didn't play well at the time.
Yeah.
The whole club at that point of the game didn't play well.
Yes. And I still remember clearly Beckham was also to be blamed for the deflection goal, the cup final against Liverpool, where Owen scored the second goal, and Gerrard got a goal from Beckham's deflection. Again, Beckham was to be blamed. So it's quite a tough season.
Do you remember at the time his popularity was very high?
Yes.
And Ferguson think that he was distracting the whole team?
Oh, definitely. Ferguson thought his marriage to Victoria Beckham was quite the reason.
Whose side are you on? Or is whose side were you on? And today, when you reflect back, whose side are you on?
I think
because you were pretty much a Beckham fan, so you gotta be honest, man.
Just say that you also wanted everyone to watch the celebrity wedding.
Wedding,
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know he was married to Victoria until I started supporting him. But yeah, I think it's Ferguson's right because as a manager, he has rights to decide to tell a player, where he thinks the fault is. So nothing wrong with that. Beckham's choice, Beckham chose. So it's like we can't say anything about that. But then what happened is I still will not forget the free kick against Real Madrid. That was just a beauty. This free kick is scored
One
as the
that
last.
Ronaldo scored a hat trick there. Right?
Yes.
Ronaldo Nazario, yeah.
Beckham scored two, the last two goals for United. Unfortunately, we lost on aggregate. But the sad part is that final that day was at Old Trafford. The Champions League final was at Old Trafford, and we missed the golden opportunity to be the
AC Milan won, right?
AC Milan one. It was an all-Italian final against Juventus. Such a huge disappointment. And to be honest, I think if we had beaten Real Madrid, we would have reached the final. Reason because after us, Real Madrid played Juventus in the semi-finals. That same year in the group stages, we beat Juventus home and away. So honestly, we would have had a chance against Juventus. So it would have been our be in the final, if not because of Real Madrid.
To sum up your journey as a United fan, because you're talking about your life and how you started as a sport.
Okay, moving on from Beckham, then you have to probably tell us what else.
All right.
I mean, okay, because when Beckham left at the very infancy stages, you supported United.
Yeah.
So he went to Madrid. Why didn't you support Madrid?
Well, I was very disappointed when he went to Madrid. But then I never had an interest in Spanish league. I only liked Manchester and the English Premier League.
Why?
So because that's where I started to watch football most of the time. And Spanish leagues mostly their kickoff times are early morning. And
Because of the time.
timing, and also I was never I was never interested in Spanish league at the time. Beckham, yeah, he's the only reason I would
Beckham
watch.
kicked off your journey, then midway through, who was it?
And after that, I fell in love with the whole United team. Ferguson, all the players, I watched them play. I love the way they were playing. Mistroy was banging goals for free.
I know
So good.
United at that time, okay, they had many you came in to support United, looks like you were Banter back. Then after that, Mourinho. Who did you hate more, Wenger or Mourinho? And then after that, Man City.
I think you cannot answer that question
Because I really enjoyed it.
you were not in the Wenger rivalry. Wenger
Or
era.
the proper Wenger.
Because I can relate to it because I started off supporting United when I was 96, 97. The time I used to go to tuition, and the time my friends, one or two of my friends had Astro. Remember Astro?
Yeah.
Was the what do you call it, premier thing to have. So they were talking about United and all about how they were playing. So I was interested. Then I was watching at that point of time I didn't have the luxury of watching it on TV. So I had a newspaper. So the Star was my hero. That triple key in the back pages of the Star. And I was looking in United, and Arsenal was a very dominant force at that time.
Yeah.
It changed sort of like the era of bringing science, what do you call it? Sorry, sports science into the Premier
And for
League.
me, I really admired Wenger because I did some research also. Because Wenger, when he came into Arsenal, he did a lot of changes in the culture. At that time they had a lot of drinking culture.
Yeah, it changed that drastically.
He drastically changed everything. He brought his players. He got battered when I think he brought in Mark Overmars, Nicholas Anelka, and he played them off the position sometimes.
Yeah, those guys are fantastic.
Yeah. So and then they won the double. So I thought,
In his first full season, he won.
it was considered his first full season. 96 he came in, and 97 was his first full season.
97, 98, like.
Yeah. Then 98 I was watching World Cup on and off. I was looking forward to the treble. I mean, for the 1999 season when we ended up winning the treble. But that season was always ups and downs, because the first half of the season never really looked like United were any chance at all, even with the Premier League as well.
So who was challenging United for the title in the treble season?
I think that time was,
It has to be Arsenal. Only Arsenal could challenge.
it was Arsenal. There was also Newcastle at that time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was Newcastle.
Newcastle.
We beat Newcastle in the FA Cup final of the year. Yes.
98.
1999.
That was the final, right?
Yes.
Actually, the final was not really that power. The one power was the semi-final we had against Arsenal.
Oh yeah, that is a classic match. He scored a wonder goal.
Oh, that one.
It was not only the one goal, it was the Schmeichel made the same.
Yeah.
Number. We were down to 10.
Correct.
Yeah, and also the
10 men.
epic Champions League final.
Yes, 2-1 comeback victory.
Yeah.
Definitely, it was. Those days, it was so beautiful.
So it means you had more affinity with United at the Wenger.
Correct.
period.
So I can see Wenger at that point of time, early stages of 2000, Wenger was quite good. Actually, he was a revolutionary, like, bringing things to a different perspective and everything.
He was, yeah.
So compared to, I would say, rivalry with Mourinho. Mourinho was he was like someone who has all the credentials and say, okay, I need to be heard.
Yeah.
I need to be the boss. The spotlight has to come to me.
Chosen one.
He's the chosen one. He's special one. Whatever ones you want to be.
Mourinho had a really long run when he came to the Premier League. He stole the whole league with Storm. He won Chelsea's first league in 50 years.
Do you remember that?
Won his
How
first
did he
season.
got the spotlight? He won against United in Porto.
Yeah, the way he stole his knees,
He ran
celebrations.
all
Yeah.
the Old Trafford pitch.
Benny McCarthy, right? Was the striker. for
Yes,
Porto.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that time was Deco. Deco was in
Deco,
midfield,
yeah. Porto
Beautiful.
has a very good players.
Mourinho is really a charismatic manager.
And he won
Fantastic.
the UEFA Cup back to back with Champions League thereafter, right? Yeah.
Okay.
So you can see I think for me as a Liverpool fan looking far, I felt that the Wenger Ferguson era was very classy. Of course, there was also some unclassy bits. Mourinho was like the party spoiler.
Yes.
He came to spoil the party. That means he found out what was weak in United and he's the party pooper. Whereas Wenger used to create something out of nothing, and establish that domination. But unfortunately, Arsenal couldn't dominate they never won back-to-back titles, right?
Correct.
They never did that. They couldn't sustain success. They only won on occasion.
Yes.
So I wonder why that is as well.
Correct. And then back to your question on who was the greater rivalry, I would definitely say definitely Arsene Wenger. Of course, Mourinho is someone who comes in and pushed himself into the picture. Justified because he also won the league with Chelsea and all. But of course, the same question. He spent a lot of money assembling the team as well.
Yeah.
And
Actually, Chelsea, if you look back, actually, Chelsea became a big team ever since Abramovich won over the club. In 2003, he started investing on money. That's when United found their first real challenge in terms of signing in players, where a few players that they targeted, like John Obi Mikel and Arjen Robben, all ended up playing for Chelsea. So I think Ferguson really
I
had his
remember that
push.
United's chairman also left for Chelsea.
Yes, Peter Kenyon left us for Chelsea. So
He was actually brokering a few deals for United. I think for
yes,
It's
John
2004.
John Obi Mikel, Michael Essien. First was Michael Essien.
John Mikel was the best part. He even wore United jersey during the press conference. After that, he switched clubs. That is so embarrassing.
That is probably Jose Mourinho's style, or maybe it's also the player being drawn by the
I think it's still under
salary package.
I would say that time because Abramovich was something like a different guy, a different person came in. And because he was throwing big bucks, at the time a lot of players from because Chelsea doesn't.
Yeah.
They don't have any
They
draw.
don't have that much of
No draw. Only the money though.
But I feel that worked,
Yeah,
because it psychologically impacts United as like, hey, we are supposed to be the best team,
Exactly. Very
but
true.
players are being stolen from us just
Exactly.
because this new guy Chelsea is like coming in and like
it's like the new kid in the block, right?
yeah.
And it worked wonders because Chelsea won their first league in 50 years, which means it paid off very well. It paid off
United
actually.
finished where that season to 04, 05?
When they finished third, I think. Yeah, because Arsenal finished second. Pretty sad, but that was the beginning of the Chelsea era of dominance, where Jose Mourinho went on to win another 2 more league titles and the FA Cup.
No, he only won
One more.
He only won one more, and then the third season
Okay.
he issue.
Then Michu, yes, then he got
Sacked.
sacked. Yes.
Everyone got the season.
He got a third season syndrome.
No, 5-4-5 he won, 5-6 he won, 6-7 you guys won.
Yeah,
no,
because
07, 08 he got sacked.
Yeah, I mean it's the fourth season. Actually, the first coming he was doing very well. It's just that Abramovich, he fell out with Abramovich ever since. I guess because of the signing of Andriy Shevchenko at the time.
No, because Abramovich is pumping in players and the players he doesn't want.
And also another reason is because Abramovich wanted Mourinho to play. No, Champions League one thing. Secondly is the style of playing. He wanted him to play a tiki-taka kind of football, which is not possible in Mourinho's style of
No, he also wanted Shevchenko because he had a
personal interest, right? Yes.
Yeah.
So this is a problem again, owners which are a bit.
Because Shevchenko was a European giant at the time. He just won the Champions League. I think similar 6 or 7 beat Liverpool, right?
He and people exactly now, right?
That's the beginning of his downfall.
Then, right. So after those rivalries, so what still keeps you thinking?
Oh, it is the club. Just we fell in the club, and then it became the club that I wanted to support for good, regardless of who plays for the club after that. Of course, after Beckham left, we had Ronaldo, a direct replacement. Unexpectedly, it turned out to be so good, and
That was not under the United radar. Do you still remember?
yeah, of course, he was actually supposed to go to Arsenal.
Or Liverpool so after him.
Yeah, Liverpool after him. Arsenal was stronger. Even he went to Arsenal Stadium for
Because he
tours.
was not in Ferguson's radar.
Correct. It just only happened. He had a friendly against Sporting Lisbon.
And all
He
the
gave
players.
John O'Shea a terrible migraine. Apparently, halftime, John O'Shea said he had a migraine, marking Ronaldo. Ronaldo was doing step overs and he got a headache. So that's when Ferguson decided we have to sign this guy. Right? This guy is giving out things.
Not only him, the whole squad went after to Ferguson and replaced by
Yes, exactly.
What did he do?
Yeah.
So
we get a confirmation.
that shows how powerful United were in the market. They just could last minute decide to buy a guy and just snap it.
It's also people want to play for Ferguson at the time. Maybe, and I think the way Ronaldo talks about Ferguson tells you a little bit about
the father-son
how
relationship.
the father type of relationship with him. I think Wenger's relationship with Spain is very professional.
Yes.
Whereas Ferguson's relationship, he knows how to influence you. For lack of a better word, we can say manipulate you to be on his side. And that's why players are willing to die for him and they will not say they'll go all out for him. A little bit of the Klopp kind of vibe you get from him.
His man management skills were top notch. He knew exactly how to win players. And even players who messed up with Ronaldo, like Ruben Nistelrooy in his last season, I think he had a fallout with Ronaldo during training. And Ferguson just literally kicked Van Nistelrooy out of the team.
He didn't play the final.
Yes, he dropped him for the final.
Weekend red.
Yeah, the cup final.
And that's when Nistelrooy left for Madrid after that. It's not a good ending for him, but
it kind of sucks the way Van Nistelrooy is such a cult hero in a way.
Yeah,
right?
he was smart. He was a perfect number 9, man. I mean, he
was a
Who was the Haaland for United, right?
He was
Yeah,
a
he was
fox
a-
in the box.
he was the Haaland for United.
He was a
He
fox
was
in the box.
score,
He was-
but actually he was a terrific striker. The way his movement,
Yeah.
some of his highlight reels, I've seen his goals are impossible.
Then he never scored any goals outside the box except for one goal. He only scored one goal outside the box, the rest all in the box.
But that's what the job of the striker is.
Yeah.
Really.
That's what he means number 9. He was a perfect number 9.
At the same time, because he was not really happy Beckham left, he was not getting the balls.
Yeah, Beckham's delivery to him was there was pinpoint crosses right to Nistelrooy's
So
feet.
Nistelrooy was a big piece there. Ronaldo in his first season, he was always cutting back.
Yeah. Because for a striker, you want the ball.
Yeah, exactly. So
You want the through ball.
like how you outgrown his way. Getting it through.
Okay, enough about United.
Okay,
Let's
How
talk
about you, Sashi?
Yeah, so for Liverpool, for me, actually,
how your legacy started?
it's actually started on a sad note.
Okay.
It was Liverpool v United 07. John O'Shea scored the winner.
You mean you started your support for him?
The official support of Liverpool was like, because previously I didn't have any sports channel at home. I just similar, I see the papers, see the back, and maybe go to my friend's house and see some highlights.
Correct.
Okay.
And then I didn't really have a chance to watch a proper game. The proper game first time we had sports channel installed in our house. The game on that day, which just so happened to be Liverpool United. Liverpool played so well, but United did what they always do, scored late in the game. I don't know who this Joan O'Shea was. From a free kick, he scores the winner. It was sad to watch, but for me, what drew me to Liverpool is the fans, the stadium, the jersey, the pitch at Anfield on TV was so nice.
But Anfield is a very different ball game. Whichever club comes in, it's like the aura is different.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and Liverpool at that season, they had a pretty solid team. They could compete against United. United just had a way of knowing how to win. Because if you don't take your chances,
Correct.
hang in the game.
Who were the players that time?
That time was like Dirk Kuyt, Peter Crouch.
Oh, Peter Crouch, yeah.
Peter Crouch, Alonso. We still had a pretty okay. And that season we reached the Champions League final.
Oh, yeah, Alonso. Alonso is a very good player.
That was a season we were supposed to play Liverpool in the final. We lost to AC Milan in the second round.
That's because of Kaka. Kaka's
Ronaldo was too good, man. Seriously.
So that's how it started. Then after that, yeah. Then seeing Gerrard, John Arnold, Risa. Because I play football as well, so Risa's left foot was just beautiful to watch.
He's like Roberto Carlos, man.
Yeah, his technique was great, but defending awful.
Yeah.
His technique was great, defending awful. Then we had the time Benitez. I liked Benitez sort of press conferences, except for the fact one. I don't know what to say.
That was a downfall. Yeah, that was a downfall.
But I liked how Liverpool played at fast-paced football. Actually, Benitez was known to be a defensive manager, but you should see the total number of goals scored when Benitez was in charge was quite high. Over the seasons, yes, they kept a lot of clean sheets and all. But the moment we got Torres, we started banging.
I think Torres was a game changer, right?
He was like our marquee signing.
Correct.
I think he was. Nobody kind of saw him as, because a lot of Spanish players who came from La Liga to the Premier League never succeeded because of the physicality. Right?
Correct.
Torres was the one that broke that luck. But too bad he got injured a lot. So that's how my journey started. And then it was.
You like the fact that Torres had a good link-up play with Gerrard.
Yeah, I think that was my favorite through ball.
That was very nice.
That goal he scored against Newcastle.
Oh, yeah.
That's really good.
Combination is like telepathic.
Yeah. You don't need to see it, just
Yes, exactly.
send it through.
In fact, Liverpool was really strong under Torres, Gerrard, and Alonso.
I think United were officially scared of us at that time because Torres had that pace.
Yeah, to be honest, I think it's actually one of Vidic's nightmare facing Torres.
Yeah, especially since we lost to them 4-1 at home. That was the beginning of our troubles against Liverpool. Up to that point, we were okay, we were good against them. But then that game, what happened actually in that 4-1 game, what I noticed, actually it all kicked off with a huge blunder during the game. But of course, not before United were on a run of not conceding goals for more than 1,000 minutes.
Oh,
They just knocked out Jose Mourinho's Inter Milan from the Champions League.
the record of Mendes had is it?
Yes, the record. So they didn't concede goals for up to 1,000 over minutes until we faced the Liverpool at Old Trafford. I believe complacency has crept into the game. Because I remember just before Torres took the ball and scored, Ferdinand and Vidic, they were kind of bumming around with the ball. They were not really.
No, actually, the game, you see, United were actually pin Liverpool down. It was a long random clearance from Skirtle. Goes up way. Vidic just misjudged the timing. Torres had the speed to just intercept and go. I think that goal shocked United, gave Liverpool the lift,
Yeah.
And then before half time, Gerrard goes in, gets tackled by Abra.
I think during that time, United had confidence building up because they were keeping clean sheets many games after.
Yeah.
But then again, after that, they were overconfident. They were realizing that whatever they touched, they could actually clear it off. And they were quite complacent as well. Even the last two games before, they actually started conceding. I mean, the Liverpool one was one off thing, but then
I mean,
the signs was there.
They were going all out attack, but it was 2-1. Tevez almost scored.
Yeah.
Make it 2-2. That's what United does under Sir Alex Ferguson. Like it's better to lose 4-1 than to lose 2-1. You just go for it, right? So they tried to, they just couldn't. Liverpool managed to get goals on the counter attack. They literally got red card.
Yeah, they got it right. And that's when Banter said a press conference.
Before that, actually. So he felt vindicated. But the thing is, we already had dropped too many points. That game was more. We started winning after that. And that season we only lost one game. United lost 3.
Yes.
We lost one game only, but we drew too many games. So yeah, that's a little bit about how I started supporting Liverpool. Of course, it wasn't as nice an experience.
How is it like supporting a club? I mean, I don't know, because the time we were growing up, we were used to seeing United winning. What was it like from your side?
From my side, I think it was nice to support the underdog. I guess expectations were not that high.
Were you looking forward in the league more than the cup competitions?
Actually, the league is still something you always want to finish as high as possible.
Okay.
Cup competitions, you see, Liverpool won the Champions League in 2004-2005. They were not the best team in Europe.
Yes.
They were the most luckiest team.
Yeah,
They won the Champions League. So winning the Champions League is not always the best team. It's a lot to do with luck.
His best team at the moment.
Remember Luis Garcia's ghost goal?
Yeah, it was a good.
Against Chelsea.
It was not going to go.
It's a goal.
Yeah, no.
It's a goal.
Until today, we can't even say it.
It's a goal. It was a goal.
He was a goal because he was Anfield, that's why.
The Anfield does that, no? Just like, Old Trafford does that in the last minute. How many
No, but
goals have you scored that is past the normal
no,
time?
but that goal, Luis Garcia's one, honestly, until today, when you look at it, right? It's just on the line, It is.
No, it's a
No, if you have VAR now, it's
Maybe
also
now
very hard to
yes.
tell. But the technology now will tell you whether the whole of the ball is over.
Yes.
So if I think you look at that, I don't know whether that was true at that time. Did they agree that whole of the ball must be over the line?
There's a thing.
I think majority of the ball over the line was considered a goal at that time. So
To
then
be
it's a
honest,
goal.
to be honest, only assuming Liverpool had lost the game, say the goal wasn't given to them, and Chelsea had won the game, I think Mourinho would have done the
I
double.
think Moreno was furious, man. after that
Because
game.
Mourinho was, he was just that game away from a Champions League final, and he just won Chelsea's first league in 15 years.
And he won the League Cup. So that's it.
Correct. That means he was so close to a treble,
Correct.
I think if he was in the final, he would have won it. Mourinho, his record in finals are
He's
crazy.
going to park 10 buses there.
Well, Liverpool won the final.
Yeah, I know.
Nobody got kicked out.
I know. What I'm saying is Mourinho was so close to getting
That's a
double.
big if, bro.
But by that time, 05, 06, 07, AC Milan were like the
Yeah,
powerhouse.
of course.
You cannot say that they would have just lost to Chelsea. They knew how to play.
The Chelsea.
Look at their team, Lukaku, Kaka,
Yeah, of
Gattuso, Pirlo. Bro, that is like
No, of course.
class beyond
Even
class.
Liverpool's comeback in 2005 was definitely very, very.
What do you
Classic
say about the
comeback.
final? Was it a pure luck or pure?
I mean, it was moments lah. We had moments in the game.
Because you guys were battered 3-0 down.
Yeah, and there's still this story about coming up from Gigo Cisse, the striker, that I talked about how Gerrard's halftime team talk was the one that sort of. I don't know if you heard about it. So basically, what he said was, everybody came in. Benitez told them not to give up. They still do this. Then Gerrard asked everybody to leave the room. All the physios, all the managers, all the coaches. Just told every player, Liverpool's my club. I don't want us to be the laughing stock of the Champions League. If you care about me, if you respect me as a player, just go all out and just save our reputation and our pride. That was the objective, you see. Not to win.
Not to say not to win, but not to embarrass themselves.
Not to embarrass them. So you can imagine that is the objective in the
So
second
you
half.
say they were trying to go for damage control.
No, they were just trying to give their best to not embarrass themselves. That means, okay, you're already 3-0 down. Try to keep a clean sheet in the second half and just try maybe nick a goal. Those 3-1 is always respected because AC Milan was so much better than us, bro. We cannot compete. They are too good.
Player for player,
They
right?
are just too good. They are Dida in goal, bro.
I was surprised how Dida did concede those 3 goals.
Yeah, and if you look at how Liverpool scored that second goal where Smitzer takes the shot, Kaka is actually tying the shoelace. At that second, he's tying the shoelace.
Wow, that's quite something.
So he just thought for a moment, he thought, he just had scored, Gerrard scored that later, right? Then seconds later, he's actually tying the shoelace, he's not even pressing. So that tells you a little bit about the mentality.
Yeah. I think they already thought of it.
You got complacent a bit. You got complacent.
So I thought it's in the bag. They would have thought that
Because the game's close, it's over.
no, 1 goal wouldn't make a difference.
The journalist already writing at halftime. You're already writing newspaper articles already. The title goes away. So
You
it's
remember where were we?
halfway.
We went to watch the game. Right?
Bro, no. We didn't watch the game, bro. That time was 2005.
Oh yeah, we watched the second. The second.
No, the other final, 2007.
The one at Cobra Club, right? The glass was breaking away.
The 2005 we went to Cobra Club. So, as Liverpool supporters club at the time, you know, right? Cobra Club near Astaka Field, right?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the Cobra Club there, we went for the final.
It was actually a
It's a
Liverpool
repeat.
house now.
It's a Liverpool supporters club. So, did we make a prediction?
No, we didn't.
We didn't, huh?
We
So,
went there
We just wanted to go and watch it.
like low key, very low key. When I think we went quite late, right?
3 o'clock morning. So,
No, we went late. We went in like we didn't go in early and all. We went in late.
correct.
We just tried to simulate the crowd and everything. And then suddenly when AC Milan won, they say, oh, someone predicted the scores of
So, suddenly, after Islam won the game, somebody broke the glass. The beer bottle and smashed it.
And the commentator was telling me, the guy was holding the mic. He said, oh, there's a Liverpool fan in the United fan in the house predicted that Liverpool will lose. The first thing
But actually, that was the final I watched. We were so much better than them.
yeah.
AC Milan we didn't take our chances. They scored before halftime. And that's surprising, like, because Benitez team, they have the experience, right? So I was just surprised that we played super well. That's the final we deserve to win. That's finals. That's a Champions League. It's very hard to measure your Europe's best when you can win a Champions League.
That's why I don't agree. You know what I don't agree is, like, you know, when Real Madrid have beaten Atletico Madrid in some finals back.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like it's really unfair, though.
But then,
It's really
put it into perspective, we will say that cup competitions compared to league is like bread and butter. If you consistently throughout the season,
because luck doesn't come into play when you're consistently getting it right.
Because when you're playing the league, you need to be consistent to the league.
Very true, yes, you have to be consistent.
So whenever people compare and Premier League, because the time there were a lot of comparisons between Liverpool and United won the Premier League, you guys won the Champions League. So they were comparing which is better. But if you ask me personally, winning the league is very important.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's the basic foundation.
You were teased. I mean, you were teased in school. People used to call our clubs Jago Kampung.
Yeah.
Jago Kampung, you know. What do you mean?
What's that mean?
Jago Kampung means home champion. That means you're only good at
You need the league in your home.
because United were not so good in Europe.
Yeah. United will not. I mean, I think it takes a different skill set and mindset to play in Europe.
Europe
Because
it's not only luck also and all these things.
But you have to be up for it, right? Because when you play in the Champions League, a lot of things are not in your hands.
Yeah, true.
A lot of things are not in your hands. One wrong decision will affect you.
Yeah.
Actually,
Right.
to be honest, even in the 1988-99 final Champions League, United played against Bayern, right? Did you remember the formation that Ferguson did? Ferguson put Giggs on the right, I think Beckham on the left, and he was massively backfired by that time. He was almost.
In Europe, I think he
wasn't that
messed up a lot.
He was much better in Europe during when he brought in his coach Carlos Queiroz.
Yeah.
Carlos Queiroz was way better because he's conditioned the club into more European based kind of club. That's the difference. That's why I said compared to you. I mean, later we'll talk about it. How about for so yeah. How did you at any point of time felt like frustrating being a Liverpool supporter?
It's very frustrating, especially the 08-09 season. They had to be too personally. Because it felt like that was the time for us to win. And when something is actually true, but people cannot see it because Fergie had that domination over the referees, and many would say he earned that right, like, because he's got the legacy. Why you want to challenge him? You have to challenge him. You have to win first, right? So Rafa was a bit naive there, to call Fergie out when he's got the officials, the league, the association on his side. So that felt like them.
Actually, Ferguson created the bait for Benitez to take it. Benitez took the bait, but
True. He was very much better at the mind games. Also, English is not his native tongue, right, for Benitez, so he used to screw up there. So it was frustrating. It was frustrating, especially we only had one season good, then we fell. One season good, then we fell. There was no consistent challenge, right? So you just had to look at Liverpool. Okay, this season Liverpool are on fire, but next season we could never sustain it because our players would leave.
Yeah, true.
So we never had that sustained period of success.
Build the squad up.
Yeah. Just one season wonders. We had one season wonders, good seasons, and then players would go, and then we cannot challenge them.
And then, which point of time do you think the club started to boom? Like, I mean, now currently,
Klopp's legacy.
I think Brendan Rodgers. I think if you look at the 13-14 season when we actually lost, right? There's an interesting interview by Ryan Sterling that time he was in the Liverpool squad. He talked about the difference between winning the league with Man City and almost winning the league with Liverpool. He actually says that when in the 13-14 season, when we were challenging for the title, he was very nervous. It was nervy. Anfield, the whole squad was nervous. I think they all wanted to win the title for Gerrard, like that. It was almost like City was not used to being in a position where they were in control of their destiny, and they bottled it up because of the nervousness. Whereas when he was in City, because they already had won the league in 2012, there was no anxiety over being in a title race.
They went into the know-how of the league.
When you look back at the 13-14 season when Gerrard, before the slip against Chelsea, right?
Yes.
When we beat Man City 3-2, after that he's doing like a team talk and he's like, actually, hold on, chill. Why do that? drawing more attention to the team. And Liverpool made it about Gerrard winning the league rather than Liverpool winning the league.
Yeah,
Correct.
The City was just desperate for him to have a Premier League medal. They forgot that actually Gerrard is there. At that time he's 34. Bro. He cannot be running the team. He should be like how Scholes and Giggs were, where they support the team. They can't be the main. He couldn't be the main man. Unfortunately, that's besides Suarez and Sterling. Sturridge actually had a good front three.
Sturridge, yeah.
They really had a good front three. But Gerrard was like
They were
desperate.
putting him in the fulcrum of the club, midfield and everything, right?
Yeah, it was
So I
very
think
desperate.
that's the downfall. I think also Gerrard he was not ready to step down when he tried to be on the sideline or try to support from the bench.
And that game against Chelsea, he shouldn't have played. He was
Exactly.
he took injections because it was severe back pain or knee pain, and he played and messed up.
sad thing, yeah.
Actually, Gerrard is
And Salah was in that team.
the game.
He came on as a sub, 13-14, then 2-0 when Torres passed the game. Salah was in the team.
Wow.
Amazing.
That time he was still accepted in Chelsea.
That time he was still terrorist.
he left Chelsea and went to Roma first, right?
Fiorentina,
Right?
I think he was on loan there or something.
That
Who would have thought he'd come back and come to best?
What a comeback story.
Even when he met your favorite manager.
Yeah, so that's a little bit my story.
Okay. So now the roles are switched.
Yeah.
Liverpool
Good times.
Liverpool is in a good time.
Bad chance for us.
That time, so
I mean, I have a question for you.
Yes.
I mean, actually, both of you. When did you guys get used to the fact that Liverpool are better than you guys? Because it must have been hard. Because it's like so long, Liverpool is like always not the number one club.
Yeah,
right?
true.
And then to change your mindset, knowing that actually you guys are not at the level anymore.
Yeah,
See,
true.
let me start this off.
Sure.
Actually, for me, I felt you were talking about the Brandon Rodgers thing. Right? Actually, I could see the tides are changing in that point of time. But of course, they didn't have certain players that they had. But I think when Klopp came in, he took it to another level. And I pretty much know that he's going to be second fiddle for him.
But you guys were still winning trophies, and you guys were
Okay, actually,
still
the truth
relatively
is-
successful.
Okay, that's what you did things. For me, what I think is, I never thought Liverpool were a real threat to us, although a couple of occasions they were under Banter. I only started to notice that after 2018 when Liverpool were going all out for they reached the Champions League final, and that's when I started to realize there's something different.
That's under Klopp, right?
Yeah, but before that, no. When they started out with Klopp, I was even laughing, to be honest. They were losing so many games
Why were you laughing at that?
because they were losing some games.
Actually, I realized
Some games which were hilarious.
in the first season, actually, he was doing something which we didn't see actually. That's what I thought. It brought me to notice that I know that Liverpool.
Because Mourinho came in and Mourinho finished above Klopp, so we were still thinking, okay,
You see,
fine.
the reason when Mourinho came into United, we became more arrogant. So we thought that the title was for us. It's our
True enough,
divine right.
Rodgers finished second, yes. We finished above Liverpool and Liverpool will reach the final. But what I began to notice is when they reached the final, I noticed that Liverpool's style of play have become suddenly very aggressive.
And that's when you
And that's when I started to realize that next season is going to be dangerous. They are so strong already. And true enough, the following season, Mourinho was sacked halfway. And, he had to follow on Paul Pogba and then he got sacked off. And then he got sacked by United. And then Liverpool went all out and they almost won the league.
That's why you supported Real Madrid.
That was a sad thing.
Salah got injured.
Yeah, man, there was the science.
This is so surprising. You know, Real Madrid are the team that stole all your players and yet you supported them.
Oh, yeah, that time Ronaldo was playing for us, playing for Madrid.
See,
It's
you
last
blur
year
the
for
lines,
Madrid.
bro. You blur the lines between Real Madrid and United.
So you were okay with
In fact, to be honest, before the final,
players.
if not mistaken, a lot of United fans were crying out to Ronaldo, please win, don't let Liverpool win the Champions League.
Yeah.
Even Beckham had a meeting with Zidane, who was the manager for Real Madrid. I don't know if you all watched it or not. He had a meeting before the Champions League final. He said, please don't let Liverpool to win.
Of course, Beckham would say that because he's
Of
a United
course.
fan. And Zidane is one of his close.
Yeah, close buddies.
Close buddies, yeah.
Yeah, of course. What I'm saying is, the United fan base and players wanted.
So you
can't blame them. You can't blame them.
You must realize that the pendulum will be shifted to their side.
Yes, that's when the following season, actually Liverpool's biggest change started.
You must understand that they not only entered, they didn't enter that final again. They entered few other finals as well.
The next season they were again there.
And they won it, correct. Their moment of truth came when they changed. They brought in Alisson. Alisson changed Liverpool's.
Alisson and Van Dijk.
Yes, and Banter. These two changed.
Van Dijk is a
Salah.
Salah,
of course. Klopp was really.
Actually, there was this.
fantastic.
I think I shared with you guys on video this afternoon about they were naming the best Premier League 11.
Correct.
Yes.
And there was an argument between the two defenders, Terry, Ferdinand, or Van Dijk. Who would be your partnership? If we talk about pairing, who would you have? Terry, Van Dijk, Ferdinand. These are the three choices. Which two would you choose?
I would go for Ferdinand and Van Dijk.
You?
Yeah. I think Ferdinand and Terry. I like their partnership.
They never had a good compatibility in England.
Yeah, but you took England out. You see, the only reason England lost with their partnership is well, penalty shot Portugal. But they did well. They didn't concede. England didn't concede during the 2006 World Cup except I think 1-1 draw. That's all.
For me, it would be Van Dijk and Terry. The reason why I don't choose Ferdinand is because Van Dijk and Ferdinand are very similar. So if I had to choose, if you had to build a centre back in terms of every attribute, Van Dijk is 90 and above on all attributes compared to Ferdinand. I think Ferdinand towards the later years, he had a lot of injuries. Van Dijk, besides his ACL season, he's playing every game. He's 34.
Yeah,
So his availability is what Ferdinand had to, towards his early 30s, he had to take injections, he had to play through the pain, and sadly the injuries kind of ruined the way he could have ended up, I felt. And he had to play the game in his head more, Ferdinand, because he didn't have that pace to catch up. Now Van Dijk is kind of playing the game in his head, but when he needs to burst, he's got the. He's got
one thing about Van Dijk, he has the 0 to 100 pace.
How about John Terry?
For me, John Terry is damn good. I think probably one of the best. Captain. He's scored the most goals, bro. 26 or 30 goals for defender.
Exactly.
And he can use both feet, bro.
Yes.
His left foot can hit diagonal balls across the field. Jamie Carragher has even talked about it. For centre back to be known for he's sort of known as the Vidic, right? Because he put his head on the line, he block with his life. He doesn't care about his life, but he's technically so good. Technically gifted.
That's why he's the England captain. Because he needs
I think if we go into war, right? Van Dijk over Terry, I will still choose Terry because Terry is technically good and he doesn't shy away from putting his body on the line. I think Van Dijk, he doesn't like to put himself in the situation. He will back off. Whereas Terry would.
You see the question on the best centre-backs, there's a lot of questions to debate as well. Because when you look at best centre-backs of all time, each era. Because if you're talking about why I choose Van Dijk and Ferdinand, because when you talk about this era, it's not about defending, it's about ball playing. You see, even keeper also evolved already. They're not the goalkeeping just to then the save the shots and all. They are the 12th man also. I mean, the second person who bring the ball up and everything. So they're no longer the same position. So
it's very hard because of eras.
But when you talk about all time great, of course, I agree. Terry is there. Definitely is there.
I think he plays in all eras.
Right.
Terry plays in all eras.
He's everywhere.
Yeah.
Easily, you can say John Terry and Vidic is there.
Yeah, of course, definitely. Yes.
They are the no nonsense type of defender.
Yes.
They don't mind putting their
Chelsea were watertight defense under Mourinho.
Carvalho and
Terry and Carvalho. Unpenetrable. They just score one goal and close out the game. And they truly got close out games, man. You couldn't go through at all.
Yeah, because they are okay to play without the ball. They didn't need to have the ball. Mourinho had the tactical setup in ways where when they got 2 goals, they wouldn't be attacking.
Mourinho's mindset is all computerized. So he always looked at his team. You just score 1 goal is equal to 3 points.
Yeah, they conserve a lot of energy, a bit smart, and they had Makelele, SCM, Mikel. Oh, those are like power horses in the midfield.
And the best part with Moreno is simple. It's definitely for us. It's not going to be. It's going to be a pain to watch.
Yeah, and also I think the Lampard Drogba partnership is underrated because if you look at Gerard Torres, Gerard Torres was great for a couple of seasons, but Lampard and Drogba, the amount of things they won together,
True.
and the amount of assists,
Yes.
goal and assists they achieved together is super high.
That's true.
Because
Drogba,
the thing is with Lampard and Drogba, they always think that Lampard is the one who picked the best out of Drogba. Actually, it's the other way around.
Drogba, because you can hit a long ball.
Yeah.
Lampard's giving long balls that turn into assists, bro.
Correct.
Because Drogba can make something out of nothing.
nothing. But you see, Steven Gerrard's long ball is very direct, But when it comes to Lampard's ball, it could be
It's a
anything.
hopeful ball. Gerrard, because Torres doesn't have that Drogba strength.
Correct.
He needs it in his path. He needs to be a perfect assist.
So that's different. That's why, like what you said, Lampard and Drogba, they're very underrated performers.
True.
I think, you're going to say
No, Frank Lampard was one of the best midfielders I've seen as well.
top scorer.
Yeah.
He's actually in the Premier League all time. I think he's the only
Most
midfielder that's
probably
up there.
Yeah.
It's insane. I feel he doesn't get the credit.
Yeah, true.
Because
Yeah, true.
sadly, people look at De Bruyne.
That's because you know why? When he became manager, he really
Yeah.
his
But just that I felt Eriksen just wasted the English team. He had such a fantastic midfield.
Because he put scores on the back. I mean, that's another debate.
And then Scholes retired. That's why Scholes retired.
Yeah.
Now he retired.
I mean, you have a quarterback in your team.
You
that's
can't.
strong.
And how
Gerrard
do you-
and Lampard together.
How you can put both of them together as senior players?
They can't pick us up.
You know,
But actually, for all backers,
Beckham was his best friend. Hey, but you saw the thing before he passed away. Beckham went to visit him. Beckham showed the
yeah.
at his place and
But for me, I feel like Beckham doesn't get the credit when it comes to being a up and down winger.
Do you remember
He's
Beckham?
up and down. He's
There was one
stamina.
charity match that Beckham played.
Yeah.
He and Gary Neville. Beckham was playing like we needed him to play for us. Like,
He was so fit. He was like still elegant.
Oh,
You talk about classy players. I think
he
Scholes
really aged very well.
yeah, true.
Not only in looks, but also his
Victoria Beckham's
Wait.
skin treatment.
Oh, now he came up with a serum, bro.
Oh.
Now he's doing another business with some called like food nutrition or something.
That's why I think it's good.
You try that first. Since you love to go to gym and all.
I think
Expensive
before we
double.
go to United's current state, because we have to talk about it, just want to mention a little bit about the Klopp transition to Scotland. I actually feel that I was talking to you before. I don't think Klopp has won enough trophies for that domination. Let's say you can say 2018 to 2024, 6 years. 6 years of if you call it one of Liverpool's best teams in the Premier League era.
I agree.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, Man City found a way to win. You cannot take away from that, whatever the 115 charges and all that crap.
Yeah.
They still found a way to win.
Yes.
So that's disappointing that Klopp didn't win enough trophies. Now, if Slot comes in and he potentially
He's going
starts
to win
winning,
for sure.
yeah, he starts winning a couple of league titles, it's going to make Klopp's legacy look very sad.
Everything he wins now, it's all going to be under Slot.
Yeah.
It's not going to be recognized as Klopp's legacy behind
Yes.
him. Slot just took it over.
Yeah.
Transition.
So, and I think that, but the only thing that Klopp will never lose is that he turned Liverpool from doubters to believers.
True.
He transformed, and I think that's what United need now. They need a manager to come in. Maybe it's Ruben Amorim, I don't know. They need a manager to come in that changes the whole facade that United is like a entertainment club, into a real club that's going to challenge them.
What Klopp called United adult Disneyland. That's why that's why I didn't want to join. He came and saw Old Trafford is like an adult Disneyland. Yeah, because it's all about more commercial, highly commercialized, and it's like
Yeah, can you believe
fun
it?
fair.
We were the world's richest club when we were not even Champions League. So,
Somehow, we were always busy getting new commercials first. We became sponsors or.
But that's their job, bro. They have to
Yeah.
focus on that.
But the thing is, it takes it's to the point where it distracts the players from their football duties.
But you cannot say that. Then Beckham also at the time.
Then you get paid for so much.
At least Ferguson ensured that success on the pitch was still there. Just that under this current
regardless of what's going on top, it's the manager's job to control what's on the
correct.
pitch.
But the thing is, because like I said, there's so many factors with the board and directors and all these things. Not right, not proper management. No football director in the
Okay, so the $1 million question is to both of you: what do United need to get back to the glory days? What needs to happen
actually,
first?
to be honest, we are on the path to the glory days from what I'm seeing right now. Ever since
How many years more?
no, since Jim took over, which means since last year. So I would say give them a few more years, like 2 or 3 more years.
If you ask me, whatever players we have right now, right, they should just sit down and assess whether to keep them or just throw them. I mean, sell them or leave.
I think it has already been accessed. It's just waiting. We are just waiting for end of the season.
Oh.
I read that Amorim is, to be honest, keeping a distance from the players. He's not really being too close to players like how Eric Ten Hag was. Ten Hag was really, I don't know for what reason Ten Hag was trying to be close to them despite them not responding to him. He backfired terribly. Amorim is really, I read, he's trying to keep a gap from them, not being too close because he knows who he wants and who he doesn't want. The only person who's really close to are the Bruno Fernandes, who's the captain, and also Diego Dalot. So these 2 players only. So others he's keeping a gap because he doesn't want to be too attached because he knows when the time comes he can just tell them, okay, you're not needed. Yeah, you understand? He's playing it smart. He's playing it smart. I think he is really a smart guy. He was. I think he will change us.
Coming to my point, for me, he should assess whichever players he wants to keep and just sell whatever players he has to sell. Irrelevant of who, whatever the profile brings it as well. And to me, I think even like Ferguson also, when he came in, he decided to trust on his youth team players as well. So I wouldn't mind rather than us spending so much of money on buying players and then getting them flop with a club and everything, and cannot get them off our own payrolls and all. Might as well just bring in all our youth team players and play as a club.
So I think that needs to be the foundation, right?
Good.
Because you see now Arsenal they got.
And I see the way they do things now is a bit different because they brought in this Eden Hager.
Yes.
For
1.5 million, he has been playing like a very seasoned player, which is quite
But
impressive.
my another opinion is actually by right, minus all those controversy, they should actually get a decent Greenwood. Greenwood is a very good finisher. One of his kind, if you ask me.
Can Højlund reach that standard?
Højlund is actually trying his very best to impress.
Yeah.
He just actually just like what Enrico told in his podcast with Rio Ferdinand, right? He should just stick to basics.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Just
He's trying to
getting
do too much and it's like too intense. Unfortunately, if he's like in a Man City team, you get more chances. Right now, it's like he's got Bruno behind him, gets him get an assist, but I think he needs to just do the basics, like you said.
You just need to get the basics and what needs to be done. You just have to relax. Okay, if I don't get a goal, as long as I contribute to the team, it's okay. He's really pushing very hard. Even the day for his country as well, when he scored against Portugal, also he celebrated. It looks to me like over elaborated.
Yeah.
He was not to say he was excited because he wanted to do the Ronaldo's celebration. I think he wants to get it off his chest when he should score.
Correct.
And I think what United needs from a Liverpool perspective, being unbiased now, being unbiased, I would say is that I think you guys need a way of playing, and I think the fans play a big part in that. I think the United fans need to really support Ruben Amorim's project.
True.
Whether it's a couple of seasons, 3 seasons.
But did you
Klopp also when he came in,
Yeah.
United, Liverpool were like finished 7th. I mean, they reached the finals here and there, but there was his DNA was not there on the team. Ruben Amorim, if you want some manager to build the DNA, you won't have to suffer first, and then let him. If you know he is the one, trust him and let him bring back. Maybe United were not going to get back to the glory days through him, but at least he is the manager that brings them back to maybe challenging.
Yes, correct.
Then maybe another manager has to come in to win.
Something like Brandon Rodgers.
Yeah, you need to bring back close the gap because now United are like mid-table club, like you can say, right?
Yeah, of course.
A mid-table club. So you need to go back to challenging for the top 4 for the Premier League and coming close. Then maybe it's a next major.
Yes, exactly. True.
So what about Liverpool? What do you think about?
So we have to win the league this season, bro. I think if we bottle it this time.
I don't think there's another club.
Quadruple to single.
I don't think there's a club that can seize the. Let's say Liverpool drops a point.
I think Arsenal, because they are in the Champions League quarterfinal, I mean, it actually deters them from the league. They can focus on the Real Madrid game, which is benefit to us. But I think they give them confidence knowing that Liverpool are actually not playing so well, yet they are top of the league. So if there's ever a chance, if Liverpool are imperious, right, winning like a winning machine, playing so well, the challengers don't feel like giving up. But when you see the top of the table team losing, and then players never signed contract yet, leaving to Real Madrid, all this gives you a bit of hope. Okay, maybe things are falling apart inside. You just try to win, see how they screw up. Because they have to still come to Anfield, you know.
Yes.
They have a game at Anfield, so they will be a bit pumped up for that. So yeah, that is what we are doing for 56 minutes. So how we wanted to end this?
So
what do we do?
So-
What does the future look like, right? I mean,
yeah, the
United
future.
will be back when, bro? 2020.
2030, bro.
2028. I think I'll say 2028.
Right?
2028. 3 more years.
3 more years, then Liverpool will be back to its default settings.
Hey, but then again, I wanted to ask you that question. What do you think that Liverpool winning now is it a dawn of a new era or a false hope?
I don't know, because we don't have many young players.
It's
Besides,
too early to say.
because we have a lot of players that are reaching the end. You know.
Yeah, true.
Because Alisson also might leave, Van Dijk also could leave, Salah also is towards the end, Robertson also towards the end. So Slot has actually a big rebuilding job to do in the next few years.
You're right, because this season is basically actually Klopp could have stayed on another season and maybe he could have won the league.
Yeah, and then
But I think what he did was actually giving the new manager to come in and to just
start off on a good start.
start off with a good start and then have a solid base for them.
Yeah, so
You
actually,
never know what will happen in the future, right?
Yeah.
actually I'm worried. If you ask me, Liverpool moving forward, I'm kind of worried because I don't see us being able to replace players like Van Dijk, Salah.
I think you guys have good defenders, young players, right?
Konate is good, but Van Dijk never gets injured, bro.
Yeah.
Van Dijk can play with any centre back pairing. He still
Compatible, yes.
makes it work. So if you lose a centre back, I think we might fall into a situation where we are defensively no longer solid. We are like an okay defense. And it's not easy to get like this up and coming centre back like Saliba at Arsenal. It's so good, young player. He's so solid. He got nothing back for 10 more years to play at the top. Then I don't know, United centre backs. That's not good at all.
But that's why we got Lenny Yoro.
Yeah, but I felt he was slow.
I think he needs time to get used to the pace of the league.
He's 18 years old, bro.
He's coming from French league.
Most of young players will be fast. So yeah, I'm actually kind of worried. So I feel like we got to win this league, win it quickly before things start to fall apart.
Yeah, I think you guys need to wrap it up fast. Get the season over and then think about what needs to be done.
Just don't bottle it up.
I don't
We've done
think.
it
I
before.
don't.
I think if we bottle it up, so let's hope that we win. So
That's
it's like
my
a bottled up win.
That's my point. Even if they lose, also, they still will finish. They still carry through.
Fell
So
down.
honestly, I very first thought he's the luckiest of the luckiest, man. Klopp and all the United managers have never gotten to face a Pep's team which is so bad as the one this season.
I wouldn't say it. Everyone puts in their effort to be
No, it's not like what I'm thinking. Assuming now if he had a City team who was neck to neck with Liverpool right now, or just 2 points behind Liverpool, I think Slot would be really trembling already, shaking already.
But actually, it wouldn't be because there's no expectation for them to win. If it was Klopp, maybe it would be a problem.
maybe.
The Slot was never expected to. If he challenged
way
for the
true.
title, would have been even a lucky thing.
The weight was on Pep's shoulders to win.
Is it true?
But
Like,
it's not on Scott's shoulders to
very
win.
true. I agree with that. It feels more like a bonus actually he won it. But the danger will start actually next season. When if he wins it this season, next season, if he fails to win it or wins by
No, actually, like I told you, it's actually the other day, right? This season it could could be a new dawn or a false hope also, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be a
Could
false
be
hope because all the players going to leave. And now it all boils down to how
It
Slot
could be
takes
the
it.
end of the winning streak, and it could be a decline, so we don't know, because a lot of players will leave.
It could be a rebuilding season.
Yeah,
also.
very true, very true.
The only difference that Ferguson did was when he left, he didn't give any all
Yeah, exactly.
all the Tamil Pakai already. So
It'll be interesting to see what type of player Slot gets in the summer. lah.
it's going to be. Do you think that the most important question? Do you think Salah will stay?
I don't know.
Salah.
I don't know. I'm leaning towards 60 40. 60% is still 40%.
Trent is definitely leaving, right?
Trend 30 70, 70% leaving. Van Dijk is the most, I think 70%.
Where do you
staying.
think Van Dijk will go?
PSG. PSG or
What can he do in PSG?
he can win the French league easily. lah. He can win the French league easily,
You can fill up the cupboards there.
and he can challenge in the Champions League lah, because it's a young team.
Yeah.
He probably will walk. Marquinhos is the captain, right? He probably walk in as vice captain for sure. So there's
Any other potential players leaving?
Robertson lah. Robertson might go.
Oh,
Yeah,
Honest, no?
because he's not there, bro. Robertson, Diaz might go to Barca.
Oh yeah, Diaz.
Diaz might go to Barca. So
Hey,
then,
Luis Diaz is a very underrated player, right?
yeah, but he's still output. He's like Ronaldinho, a lower budget of Ronaldinho, lah, bro. Where he's got cheaper version, the pirate version, bro. I think
What a
output
good
wise,
one.
he's not. He needs to do better, lah. Output wise, because his energy level is so high. He's like Nani, lah.
Yeah.
United's Nani, lah, right?
Super
He's like
sure.
he's got all the skills, but consistency and output not there.
But Luis Diaz always appear in big games. Something Salah doesn't do.
Yeah, man, that's a sad thing. All right,
Right.
so we reached 1 hour.
Alright.
We will see each other in the next episode.
Yes,
See you
episode 2.
everyone. Take care. Bye bye.
See you guys.